Welcome back, Troglodytes, to another episode of Trogly's Guitars. Today we're going to discuss the difference between the Buckethead Signature Les Paul and a general run-of-the-mill Les Paul Standard, or your regular Les Paul. If you're not familiar with the Les Paul Buckethead Studio Signature series, they had two different ones, and they have oversized bodies that are chambered. As you can kind of see here, it definitely is a larger guitar than the Les Paul Standard, but by just how much? Because these are very hard guitars to come by, especially at a decent price. So you definitely want to find out as much as you can about these guitars before purchasing. They definitely feel a lot larger and a little bit more unwieldy until you start to really get used to it. And then once you're used to playing this Signature, all other Les Pauls feel like little toys. So let's go ahead and take a look at here and measure these guitars out. First, we'll start with the regular Les Paul Standard. Headstock all the way to the bottom of the body, you're at about 39.5 inches. The longest bout of the body, you are running about 13 inches. And up here, you are running roughly about 9.5. On the Buckethead Signature, from the very tip of the headstock all the way down to the bottom of the body, so you're about 43.5, which is considerably more than the Les Paul Standard. Now from the lower bout, you're at about a little over 14 inches. From here, you're at just a little over 10 inches. The scale of the Buckethead is 27 inches, where a regular Les Paul is about 25. Besides the scale length, the Buckethead actually has 24 frets, whereas the Les Paul Standard has 22 frets. The thickness of the body is the same on both of them, though, at around 2 inches. Obviously, weight varies example by example. I mean, some Les Pauls I get of the exact same model weigh a pound more or less than the others, but this particular Signature Buckethead weighs 9 pounds 8.7 ounces. This Les Paul Standard weighs 9 pounds 3.6 ounces. Most Les Pauls weigh anywhere from 8 pounds all the way up to 12, depending on the era and if they're chambered or not. A few other differences we can go over here is the Les Paul Signature has locking tuners, whereas a typical Les Paul does not. But the Les Paul has a mother of pearl logo, whereas these unfortunately only got silk screens. Richlite fretboards on these guys. This is a very dark rosewood on these. However, the bodies are exactly the same. Mahogany bodies on both of them, and maple tops, as well as mahogany necks. You have Gibson USA pickups in both of them. These are hotter output pickups. These are a little bit more versatile because they have kill switches on it, 2 of them, where normally on a Les Paul you would have the 3-way switch up here, but this one was put down here. You have a master volume, master tone, and a coil split on this guy, and just regular electronics on most Les Paul Standards. The bridge and tailpiece system, exactly the same on both guitars. No pickguard on this one, pickguard on that one, but not all Les Pauls have that. Playing the Les Paul Buckethead, it does have a wider nut width, depending if you have the Signature or the Studio version. They run about 1.7 nut. We'll do a little bit of acoustic tones here, just with my hands, so you can kind of get an idea of how this guitar sounds. Les Paul Standard. You can tell this one doesn't quite project as much as the other one because I think the chambered body of the Les Paul Buckethead definitely helps with that, with a Marshall JMP 1C. Now how well they handle distortion. Overall, both of these guitars are excellent playing, but when it comes down to it, if you're not a Buckethead fan, but you're kind of a larger guy or gal, like you're really tall and you always find Les Pauls look weird on you, I would definitely suggest picking up maybe a studio version of this guitar and having it modified to your personal tastes, like color-wise. But I think I prefer the sound of this larger guitar here because, I don't know, it has a little bit more of an open sound to it. It's kind of hard to explain. It just sounds a little bit, deeper and fuller. Whereas this one, don't get me wrong, it definitely sounds good, but these are completely different guitars, even though they look very similar. So if you're a Buckethead fan, buying for the kill switches and the whole look, fantastic guitars. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Trogly's Guitars. Hopefully you guys learned something. And if this is your first video of mine that you're watching, I run Trogly's Guitars here on YouTube. We do video tours and demos of every guitar we sell. So please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you troglodytes on the next episode of Trogly's Guitars. Take care.